Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy 2020. Your girl is back. It's 2020. We have a whole different aura and energy now that it's the new year, and I thought I would come out with a bang with my new series called Ed Talks. Now, Ed Talks is kind of like TED Talks, but Ed does it. If you guys didn't already know, I upload every single week. Look out for a video every single week. Hey. Now with that said, make sure to hit that bell notification button to be notified every single time I upload. Let's get started. Now, one topic that a lot of people ask me about, and I feel like a lot of people need help with because there are so many people who are really bad at it, is how to keep a healthy relationship. Now, this is gonna be different from like friendship relationships or family relationships. This is solely based on love and keeping that love fiery. I'm that type of girl from the group that everyone comes to for advice. Like, I am honest, okay? I am so honest and I give the best advice. I'm not gonna lie. So I thought by making these videos, I can help anybody out there with any questions they have, any confusion on how to make things work and if they're in a toxic relationship or not. And I feel like this is the perfect spot for me to shine my light on the advice I have to give. Now, with that said, this is a new series, so I am going to talk about a bunch of different topics. So if you guys want me to talk about a specific topic, you can go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. So I jot down some notes. There's a lot of shit you guys have to know, okay? For those of you who don't know, I am engaged. I have been in a almost 6-year relationship with my first love, and this is the only relationship I've been with. And a lot of people are like, you haven't even been in more than one relationship. How are you about to sit here and give a relationship advice? Let me tell you something. You don't have to be in multiple different relationships to know what's right and wrong. There are so many people who have been in multiple relationships who don't know shit about relationships. I have the best intuition and I see and feel everything, so I can catch on like that. And by seeing other people and what other people go through, it's like, girl, you did this wrong, he did this wrong, and you guys gotta work on this. So I'm about to give you guys my advice on how to keep a healthy, lasting, loving relationship. Everything that I'm going to talk about in my series Ed Talks is solely my opinion. This is the way I run in my book, and I feel like it can help so many freaking people out there. So if you guys want to listen to what I have to say, just keep on watching. Number one is communication. So many people say, oh, communication is key. That is what you need for a relationship. But they don't think deeper into it. Like, yeah, you gotta communicate with your spouse, but it's not just talking and communicating. No, there's deeper steps into what communication really is. First of all, you should not keep any secrets. If you are going into a relationship, you have to give your full self, and he or she has to give their full self. No secrets. If there's a problem, you gotta talk about it. You cannot push things under the rug and expect things to be just fine, because guess what? All your shit rises to the water after a little bit of time. So if you don't address it now, chances are you're about to blow up in a couple of weeks, months, or years on your spouse on a specific topic because you guys didn't talk about it. If you guys aren't talking about every single thing that goes through your mind, you're doing it wrong. There should be no, how am I supposed to know you thought that? Or, I'm not a sidekick, how am I supposed to know what you're thinking? That would not even be a problem if you guys simply talked about everything that goes through your mind. With that said, one thing that I cannot emphasize more is, please, for the love of God, do not text. Let me say that again. Do not text a serious conversation. There are so many people who I've personally seen where they're sitting right next to each other and they're going like this. Are you out of your mind? First of all, let me tell you why texting in any situation is completely and utterly incorrect. Let me tell you something. In a text message, you do not know the tone of how someone is texting, what's going through their mind when they're texting. A lot of people have Twitter fingers, which means you have a lot of courage when it comes to talking over the phone, but in person you would never say that. That's one thing. In text, you might say things that shouldn't have been said, and now you guys are fighting about something that's not even what you guys started fighting about. You know what I mean? Just cut that out. Do not text. Let's say you're in a situation, right? You're in a little scuffle. Something pissed you off that he did, or something that happened that she did that is getting on your last nerve. Do not say, hey babe, this pissed me off, blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. All you have to do is, hey babe, can you FaceTime me? Or, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up and let's go to Starbucks, or let's park on the side of the road and let's just talk. That is what healthy relationships consist of. You cannot fight over text because things are understood in a different way. Things are taken to another level that shouldn't even be taken to. And there's no point. Why are you guys texting? You gotta communicate. You gotta talk. Let's say you're in a long distance relationship, right? And you can't just go pick him up or pick her up and talk about it. There's something called FaceTime. Thank you. We have technology where you can actually use that for your advantage. If you're busy, or if you're out of state, out of town, out of the country, whatever the case may be, all you need to do is pick up that phone on FaceTime or ring that doorbell and say, we gotta talk. Because if you're not doing that and you're going through text, chances are things are gonna escalate to places that shouldn't be escalated to. Things are going to be translated that you didn't even mean it to come out that way. Do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Do not text, okay? Just don't do that. Another important thing is to never stop dating. Now, what I mean by that is, for example, I've been in a 6-year relationship, right? And we're still very much in love and we have that fire because we're still dating. And what I mean by that is he still takes me out. He'll say, be ready this time. I'm gonna surprise you and we're gonna go to a place that is cold, so wear something warm. Or don't make plans this day because we're gonna have a whole day adventure. Whatever the case may be, you cannot stop dating, because if you stop dating, chances are you're going to lose interest and be like, so what are we gonna do? Just sit around all day? Which personally I love to do. I'm a homebody. I love to just sit at home, play Mario Kart for hours with him. But you like your outside life. You like to go out, dress up, look cute, and that will always keep the interest between two people. So never stop dating. Even if you're old and wrinkly, you better be going to Soup Plantation for that Tuesday senior citizen discount, or whatever the case may be. Just don't stop dating. Keep on going out, keep things interesting, change things up, go on a random adventure, and it'll be the best time of your life. This one is super important, which is self-worth. There are so many people who don't even know who they are, don't know their identity, don't know how much they're worth. They don't even love themselves, but yet they go into a full-on relationship, which ends really badly because they didn't even know how to love themselves. So how are you supposed to love someone else if you can't even love yourself? And another thing is, don't forget how much you are worth. You cannot let anybody, including the person you are with, make you feel any type of way, downgrade you, disrespect you, anything like that. Those things are absolutely not tolerated. You have to remember that there is nobody like you. We live in such a toxic society right now where people look up to other people and say, I don't look like this, let me go change this on my body, my lips are too small, or I'm not tall enough, or whatever the case may be, and they downgrade their self-esteem because of that. And let me tell you that there is nobody like you, and you have to remember that. When you do remember that, you will not tolerate anything but the best when it comes to being in a relationship. You will not tolerate shit. You will not tolerate disrespect. You will not tolerate disloyalty. You will not do any of those if you know how much you are worth. And if those things do happen, you know you're in the wrong situation and the wrong relationship, and that there are other people who can treat you 1,000 times better than who you're with. So don't forget how much you're worth. And that is throughout any relationship, doesn't matter if it's 1 year, 1 month, 20 years, 30 years, you have to remember the value of you, and that will keep you in a healthy relationship forever. Happiness. I can be in the shittiest mood or have the shittiest day, and if I just make one phone call to my fiance, I'm smiling ear to ear. Why? Because he gives me that happiness even when I have days that are super low. So you have to keep each other uplifted. You have to make sure that he's always happy or she's always happy and you guys are happy together. If you guys aren't happy together, or if you get annoyed fast, or whatever the case may be, chances are you guys aren't meant for each other, because a relationship is something that consists of pure happiness. It doesn't matter what they have, where they live, what car they drive, where they take you. If you can sit in one room or even a box and feel fulfilled, which I would definitely do. I would literally live in a box and I would be the happiest person ever, because you are dating that person, not the material that comes with it. If you aren't fully happy, chances are he can feel that or she can feel that, and you guys aren't in the right relationship. And if your spouse isn't making you happy, you aren't in the right relationship, because a relationship consists of happiness forever. There may be ups and downs in a relationship, but most of the time you should be smiling ear to ear. Obsession. The only obsession that should be going on in your relationship is the obsession for each other. If you're not obsessed with who you're with, you're in the wrong relationship. The way you know you're obsessed with whoever you're with is when you just think of them and you're just like, you know, they make you feel all warm inside and all butterfly-y, and you just love everything about them, and you cannot see yourself with anybody else but that person. That's a great sign. If you're very like nonchalant and just like, yeah, that's my boyfriend, or yeah, we're in a relationship, that ain't it. That ain't it, girl. You have to be so in love and so obsessed, but like healthy obsessed, not like weird sociopathic obsessed. That's like a whole different situation. That's not what I mean by obsessed. I mean like in a good way, like, you know? There's gonna be days where you love the person you're with, and there's gonna be days where you hate the person you're with. That is completely normal. But something that is not normal is when the hate passes the love, that you're just, no, that isn't supposed to happen. And when there's just love consistently and like you guys don't fight or argue, that's weird. Fighting, arguing is not a bad thing. That's how you grow. That's how your relationship grows. That's how you grow as a person. That's how you can understand who the person you're with. That is something that has to take place in every single relationship. And that arguing or fighting should not be happening consistently. That should be something that is rare but still happens, because you're human. Nobody's perfect. The relationship you go into, let's say you've been in multiple relationships, doesn't mean that every single relationship is the same. Every person is different. So if you're going from one relationship to another, just know that the things you did with your ex is not going to be the same as what you do in your next relationship. You guys have to talk about it. That's where communication comes in key. You guys have to argue about it, but just don't pass the nastiness. Keep it at a mutual level, civilized, and make sure that you both understand the rights and the wrongs after everything is done. That will either make or break you. So communication will help you do that. Understanding the person you're with, along with arguing or fighting, this is one thing. Do not go to sleep mad. Don't do that. If you're arguing, you guys have to come to a civil understanding at the end of the argument. If you guys still don't see eye to eye, there's something going wrong. You guys have to acknowledge your faults. You guys have to talk about it where communication comes in key, and really just understand the reason why this conflict is happening. And from that, you're going to grow and learn as a couple. Hopefully those things won't happen after that. If they're happening consistently, that means that person didn't learn or there was some type of miscommunication. So just make sure to be civil, talk about it, don't push anything under the rug, and don't go to sleep mad, okay? Just just talk about it. Along with relationships comes individual space. I don't understand couples that are literally up each other's asses all the time. That's kind of weird. As much as you're in a loving relationship and you're obsessed with that person, you're in love, you guys are so good, you still need time for yourself. Unless you're married, that's a different situation, but in a relationship, you forget who you are and you're just invested in a relationship and just thinking about that relationship. Hold your horses. Step back. Think about yourself too. If there's a day where you just want to chill, have you time, read a book, binge a show on Netflix, go to the mall, whatever you want to do, just remember that you should always keep space and time for yourself. Don't forget about yourself. That's one thing. Just know that you might need some downtime. And same thing with your spouse. If they're like, hey babe, you know what? Let's just see each other on the weekend. I'm just gonna chill for the day. Don't get mad at that, okay? Because there's days where we need that chill and that's totally okay. In a relationship, you should always push each other and better each other together. Something about life is that you cannot get comfortable. Nothing is consistent either. So you have to always push each other to better not just your relationship, but let's say to get a better position, to work harder in school, to graduate, or to go do volunteer hours to get that job because of experience. Anything like that, you just have to grind together and push each other and be each other's backbone, because at the end of the day, you do not have anybody except for that person. So always uplift each other, never put each other down, ever. Life itself is all about growth, to exceed your expectations, especially being with the right person. The things you thought you could never do, just by having that uplifting person. No, baby, you can do it. Keep on grinding. You're gonna get here. We're gonna do this together. That really changes who you are. There's a lot of people who aren't the same person as they were when they first started dating because they bettered each other together. When you're in a relationship, right? Take away your position in that picture, okay? Who is the person you're with? By looking at who that person is by themselves, that will make you know a lot of things about who you are, the choices you make, and who they truly are without you. Now that's very important. You can make that person grow and do this and that, but if they're not growing to better themselves, if they're staying in the same path, you might be okay with that. He or she might be okay with that. That's fine. But if you're seeing that it's making conflict in your relationship, take a step back and just look at who they are. Are they funny? Are they boring? Are they unmotivated, sluggish, a bum? Are they rude? Oh, speaking of rude, there's nothing more facts than when you go out to a restaurant and you see the way your partner or yourself talk to the waitress. That is just like, oh my God, I should make a video on what to look for in the first date. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So if you take yourself out of that picture, you will genuinely see who that person is. And that will make you know whether you're with the right person or not. Yes, you might have taken part of changing that person for the better or acknowledging importance in some aspects of life which changed who they are. That's fine. But just look at them as a whole. What is their personality like? Do they open the door for you? Are they respectful to their parents? Just like things like that will truly show who you're with. And when you take yourself out of the picture and just emphasize on who they are, that will make it easier for you to know if you're in the right relationship or not. Another thing that is so important, if you're having a bad day and you're expressing that anger on your spouse, you better not. I cannot emphasize what a moron you are for that. Being in a relationship, that person should be uplifting you, even through the good and bad days. If you're putting your anger on someone who has nothing to do with what you just went through and why you're angry, why would you put that anger on that person? Like that makes no sense to me. That makes zero sense. Now, if you know your self-worth, you'll know that that is not okay and you will not take that bullshit, because that's complete bullshit. If you put into consideration that they are totally in the wrong, communication, they are totally in the wrong for how they're treating you because they're having a bad day, then things may start to change, arguments, which will better your relationship. I feel like there's so many things that comes to a relationship, but it's like communication always comes down to any problem, in my opinion. Another thing, you have to keep equality in your relationship. I cannot emphasize that more. Nothing pisses me off more when, let's say there's a girl, right? And their man is out in the clubs having a jolly good time with his boys. And then when it comes down to the girl wanting to go out, that's a problem. Let me tell you, if you do not keep that equality in a relationship, things are going to get bumpy because now you guys aren't having a equal relationship. Also, you can do these things and I can't, or I'm gonna clean the house, wash the dishes, you better be taking out the trash and mowing the lawn, or whatever the case may be. It's not just on if that person goes out or not. It has to do with anything in life. If you have equality in a relationship, that will keep your relationship balanced. There will be no ups, there will be no downs, there will be, but you did this, but you said that, but you're gonna do this, but you didn't do that. It's just, no. Keep that equality. If you're doing something, best believe I'm gonna be doing it too. If you're not going somewhere, best believe that person isn't going either. You are each other's piece. I feel like now that I'm like talking about it, there are so many things, so many important things to talk about. So if you're doing things together and just keeping things equal, none of these problems will ever happen. Another important thing is control. Like, some people are just absolute control freaks. And the way you know that they're a control freak is if they're telling you how to run your own life. Another thing about relationships is compromise. Don't expect going into a relationship thinking it's going to be the same as your last one. You're going into a relationship with a new human being, so you have to compromise, whether it's your morning routine, how you set things up in your bathroom, individual decisions. It's just, everything is about compromise. If you're not willing to compromise for your partner, then you're not ready for a relationship, because relationships are all about compromise. I'm not saying that you have to change who you are completely for the person that you're dating. Absolutely not. But there's definitely things that you need to alter just a little bit so you guys can be compatible in that relationship. Another thing is, relationships are not for everyone. There are people that are just not made for relationships, or they're not ready to be in a relationship because of the person they are at that moment. Along with relationships comes honesty. That's like one of the most important things. If you're not honest, or you're not willing to give 100% to your partner, you should not be in a relationship. I don't understand people that are not honest in a relationship and still continue to be in one. Like, how does that even make any sense? If you're not willing to be honest, why are you in a relationship? There's no point of that. This whole Ed talk makes me have more ideas for red flags on a first date. That's a good one, because a lot of people don't notice these things, and they are so important because the things they do on the first date will foreshadow and uncover things that they will do in the future. There are so many important things when it comes to a relationship, but I feel like these are the basics of how to make something be healthy, functional, work, and keep that interest going. Communication is so freaking important. Keep things interesting, look cute, go out, take pictures, keep the respect level to a full 100, keep things equal, maintain a balance, and just love each other for who you guys are. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all my latest videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.